I think of 6 months in general, and there's all types of emotions when I think this day comes to everyone. There's relief, there's happiness, there's excitement, there's sadness, there's everything that you go through, I guess. But yeah, so all of those words I use there, I think sums it up pretty well.
We're going to talk about the highs of what you've achieved on the cricket field as a player and as a leader in a minute, but the emotions that you've been through since the Ashes. You spoke to me ahead of that Lord's game and you said, you couldn't switch off, you're thinking about it all of the time. How have those emotions been? What has that ride been like for you away from cricket?
Yeah, it's been really tough, and I'm sure a lot of not necessarily players, but also captains can understand it. And someone that I've spoken to quite a lot around this kind of stuff is Joe, and yeah, he gets it. He understands it, and it's the best thing that I've ever been asked to do, which is captain this team and captain this country. And I'll never begrudge any moment where I've captained the team and walked the team out. It's simply the greatest honour you could ever put on your shoulders as a player. But there's another side to it all, where people don't see, people don't understand, and only people close to those people can really see it. My family, particularly my wife, and other people, can see what you do go through emotionally. And as good as it is, there are bits where it does get you, it does drain you, and it does affect you in a negative way. But overall, it's literally been 4.5 years or whatever it's been. I've loved every single moment of it. But some times and some moments have been harder than others.
When I interviewed you and spoke to you ahead of the Lord's Test, I didn't get a sense that this moment would come now. May I ask why now?
Yeah, it's one of those, to be honest, there was a moment, the whole Lord's Test to me was something that, I guess, brought back some kind of negative feelings about where I was in my career, and I'd worked so hard from getting back home to try and make things right, and that's what I thought I was doing. And I put so much time and effort into it, maybe, I basically I think I maybe potentially had burnt myself out. And then when I got to that week at Lord's, it was a very interesting and strange feeling to go into that game. And sometimes for me, I've always thought that if I've got too much time on my hands, it can actually sometimes not be the best thing for me. But I gave myself as much time. I spoke to as many people as possibly could through the process of this whole thing that everyone goes through, and this great man being one of them. And I tried. I gave myself every opportunity to, I don't know, potentially, think it was maybe just a blip or something wasn't quite right. But everyone who I've spoken to about the day it happens, I say, "What's it like?" And they just say, "Oh, it kicks you straight in the face." And I thought a few weeks ago that it did, but then it was as I was putting my pads on yesterday, getting ready to go out there, that was that sort of last nail in the coffin.
So were you thinking about this prior and coming into the Lord's Test, or was events after Lord's kicking it on again?
Yeah, no, it was the build-up. It was what things were like through that whole week for me, walking off the field, and then another moment when I was sort of sat next to my mate Joe in the dressing room. And then obviously you add another scenario to it, which adds so much more to everything. But Wardy, to be honest, it's never ever simple or easy with me, is it?
Not really, no.
That's been one of the good things about my career, I guess, is we can have a laugh about this, is nothing can ever be simple. And that was an unfortunate situation to be involved in over the last 2.5 weeks. But this game, I absolutely love cricket. Actually being back at Durham for the last 10 days when I wasn't part of the second Test match, I found sort of, I don't know, not a reconnection, but I found a new lease of life with what my affection was towards cricket, and then I just couldn't get that same feeling back here this week as much as I was trying. and I've been through some rocky times, personally, with having to feel like I'm pushing myself through. I feel like I'm having to do something because it's the right thing to do. And to be honest, it might sound quite selfish, but this decision, it is generally the best thing for me right now. And whether that means it's the best thing for the team going forward, I hope so. But it comes down to what I think is going to allow me to still love this game that I played since I was a kid, and it's given me a career. I'm very excited about the next part of what I get to do, and actually, going back and playing for my boyhood club, Durham, really just sort of, I'm comparing this week to that week in terms of the emotion. Right now, I am buzzing because of this, but there's been moments this week where it's been really tough, and I sort of think again that just adds to everything, and it really makes it very clear in your mind that you're probably making the right decision.
You've had challenges, you've had some downs, you've had a lot of ups. Could you please stay and watch this with us?